Hare Krishna. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gnana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitamina Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapimena Bhutale. Swam Prabhakadamahyam Dadati Svapadantika. Vandeham Shri Guru Shutpada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnivam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrashtam Sahagna Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sarjivam. С Advaitam Savadhutam Parjanashitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagna Lolita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrisha Panusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namina Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vaskatya Vashatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this was, as you all know, the Prema mantras of His Divine Grace Abhayacharna Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda, of his Diksha Guru, His Divine Grace Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvati Ṭhākura Prabhupāda, the Panchatattva mantra, which glorifies Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his eternal associates in Gaura Lila, and then the Maha Mantra. Now I will continue with the reading of these books, of these two books. Also, I will try to read from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, Gaudiya Darsana of His Divine Grace Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvati Ṭhākura Prabhupāda. He has given a lecture. So this is his lecture, and it is translated from Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu, and this is actually this book. So in this way, this book is from Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu. So Jai Gaudiya Darsana, Jai Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu, Jai Shri Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura Prabhupāda. So I was at uh, so I think I have reached the following paragraph. So, the power of a word as it presents itself before the pure consciousness of a perfectly realized person is called Vidvad Rudi, from Vidvat, enlightened visionary. Rudhi, conventional meaning. This Vidvat Rudi of Spota Vada has been fully developed only in the essential instructions of Gaudiya Darsana in regard to Sri Namabhajana. In Shikshastakam, the victory drum of Sri Nama Sankirtana has loudly resounded through the words Vidya Vidya Vidujivana. Vidya Vadujivana. Vidya Vadujivana. This is in the first verse of Shri Shikshastakam. This is the fully blossomed expression or Vidvatrudi form of Spota Vada. The Vedanta scriptures defining the proper methods of pronunciation of Vedic mantras are called Shiksha. The science of pronouncing the mantras with the correct intonations, such as Udatta and Anudatta, is the subject examined in Shiksha, the Vedic sub-branch of phonetics. Shiksha, the Vedic sub-branch of phonetics. However, Sriman Mahaprabhu's Shikshastakam is not merely like that Vedanta. All the Vedas along with their 6 angas are included within Shikshastakam. The Shiksha within Shikshastakam not being limited merely to the Vidvata Rudi. Exegesis of the Vedanta scriptures incorporates the Vedas themselves and all their auxiliary texts. In Shikshastakam, the subject revealed is the Spota Vada of the holy name. The transcendental wish-fulfilling gem, who is non-different from the named, the fully independent, conscious embodiment of Rasa Shri Krishna. Considering meaningful words or the spota to be different from the syllables, grammarians create disagreement among the various philosophical traditions. However, all the sectarian disputes arising from ordinary spotavada are resolved in the Gaudiya Darsana of Sri Nama. In ordinary spotavada, there is a difference between the syllables of a word and the subject to which they refer, because this deliberation on the nature of sound takes place within the ether of Prakriti or this material universe. However, the Vidvat-Rudi perspective on Spotavada precludes any type of intervention or obstruction of Maya, the material energy. In this Spotavada, there is no difference at all between the syllables and their referent. The sound and its meaning, the signifier and the signified. There is no impossibility of all syllables bearing meaning because the syllables and their referent, the sound and its meaning, the signifier and the signified are all subjects of the spiritual space, paravyoma. In regard to the Vidvat Rudi, Spotavada is Spotavada. In regard to the Vidvat Rudi, Spotavada, it has been stated in Shrimad Bhagavatam 12, 6, 12, 6, 40, 41, 40 to 41. So there is a verse here. I will try to sing it because if I read it, it will be worse. So I will try to sing it. Yes, just a moment. Spnotiyahimaspotam sutta shratrecha shomyadre yenavadvyajateyasya vyatirakashatmana svadana brahmana saksha vechaksha paramatmana sasarvamantropanisha veda bija sanatana. When the sense of hearing does not function in its covered state, the Purusha, who by nature is full of knowledge, hears the spota, that is the unmanifested sound of the pranava, omkara, without the assistance of material senses. He is the Paramatma. The statements of the Vedas, which illuminate all meanings, are expanded only by this spota. The spota personally manifests to the Jivatma in the ether of the heart. The spota directly denotes its own cause, Paramatma, the Brahma Vastu. This is the mystery of all mantras and the eternal seed of all the Vedas. So at the beginning I didn't understand what was written. I will read again this translation. When the sense of hearing does not function in its covered state, the Purusha, who by nature is full of knowledge, when the sense of hearing does not function in its covered state, the Purusha, who by nature is full of knowledge, hears the spota, that is the unmanifested sound of the pranava omkara. Without the assistance of material senses, he is the Paramatma. So this sentence I somehow don't understand what is it. When the sense of hearing does not function in its covered state, the Purusha. Yes, okay. When the sense of hearing does not function in its covered state, the Purusha, who by nature is full of knowledge, hears the spota. That is the unmanifested sound of the pranava omkara. without the assistance of material senses. He is the Paramatma, the statements of the Vedas, which illuminate all meanings, are expanded only by this spota. The spota personally manifests to the Jivatma. In the ether of the heart, the spota directly notes its own cause, Paramatma, the Brahma Vastu. This is the mystery of all mantras and the eternal seed of all the Vedas. So I will continue the next time. So, okay. With the next paragraph, I will continue the next time. The next paragraph is the Vidvat Tatparya, realized purport of Spota Vada. Okay. All this is maybe the commentary of Prema Prayojana Prabhu. Just a moment. This must be the commentary now. The next. No. This is still the lecture of His Divine Grace. His Divine Grace, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvati Ṭhākur, Prabhupāda. So, no, this is still not the commentary. Maybe the commentary will follow later. Where is the commentary? Just a moment. Yes, the commentary follows later. Okay. Yes, the commentary follows later on page 119. Okay. So this is still the lecture of His Divine Grace, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvati Ṭhākura Prabhupāda. Jai Gaudiya Darsana, Jai Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvati Ṭhākura Prabhupāda, Jai Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu. Now I will continue with the next book, the Gayatri book of His Holiness Satchidananda Swami. Jai the Gayatri book. Jai His Holiness Satchidananda Swami. So I think I have reached this paragraph here. Just a moment. Okay, I think I really have reached this paragraph, the power of Pancharatra. And this is a part of the chapter 1. Okay, the power of Pancharatra. In considering the Prajyotisha Brahmana's experience, we should note that the cause of his advancement was not his own understanding, but the transcendental influence exerted by the mantra. Yes, this was actually the last time it was explained about this Brahmana who was chanting his Gayatri mantras. Yes, okay. So, Srila Prabhupada once, so here Srila Prabhupada is, of course, His Divine Grace. Srila Bhaktisiddhānta, no, sorry, here Srila Prabhupada is His Divine Grace. Vaicharnara Vrnda Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the Diksha disciple of His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvati Ṭhākura Prabhupada, and the Diksha Guru of His Holiness Sachinandana Swami. Okay, now let us see. Yes, I will continue now. Okay, Srila Prabhupada once compared the effect of mantras to thunder. We do not need to intellectually understand what is happening when the sound of thunder fills the sky. The sound of thunder affects our consciousness and we are moved by it. In the same way, even without understanding what he was doing, the Brahmana attained a high level of advancement. This is the power of the Pancharatrika method. Yet the Brahmana remained confused about the actual goal of life. He needed to develop attachment to the Lord by practicing Nama Sankirtana. In order to return to the spiritual world, a devotee needs to come to the stage of pure love of God. Prema can only be achieved by practicing the activities of the Bhagavata Marga by Nama Sankirtana. Therefore, Gopakumara thought, I will read the translation, then I will try to sing it. Certainly no sadhana means of perfection. No sadhana, means of perfection, is superior to the worship of Sriman Madana Gopala's lotus feet. This worship yields results far beyond what one could expect. It should be performed mainly through Nama Sankirtana, along with reverence and affection for the many places of Sri Gopala's pastimes. Sri Gopala's pastimes, places one should regularly visit. So there's a note number 36, 36 and 36. This is from Brihat Bhagavatamrita 104 to 105. So I will try to sing the text of this citation, this reference. Just a moment. Shriman Madana Gopal Balabhyopasanat Param Namasakirta Naprayat Vanchatatita Falapradat Tat Lila Stala Palena Shraddha Sandarshana Tarai Sampadyamanam Nitaram Kinchinashti Eva Sadhanam. So, let us reflect for a moment. How had the Brahmana been able to rise to such a high spiritual level even before meeting Gopakumara? It is because he had already worshipped Sri Krishna through the chanting of the Gopala mantra, even if his chanting was irregular and without understanding. Thus he achieved a certain level of advancement without even realizing it. Now, however, in order to come close to Krishna, he needed the special mercy of pure devotee, someone who would instruct him how to conquer Krishna's heart. He needed to learn how to chant Sri Krishna's holy names, following the methods prescribed by the Bhagavata Marga. But only after having chanted the Gopala mantra, in other words, by following Pancharatrika Vidhi, was the Brahmana prepared for the step up to the Bhagavata Marga. We should seriously consider this point, although even Namabhasa chanting, characterized by genuine effort to give up offenses, will help us advance quickly in Krishna consciousness. Only chanting the holy name purely will yield the fruit of pure love of God. A devotee who has received the Gayatri mantras should always remember that these mantras, if chanted properly, can reveal knowledge to his particular relationship with Krishna and of the mood in which he should worship the Lord. Only then can be actually rise can he actually rise. Only then can he actually rise to the platform of pure chanting. Srila Prabhupada summarizes this point in the following statement. No one can worship the Lord in the Bhagavata Vidhi without going through the regulations of the Pancharatrika Vidhi. Actually, neophyte devotees worship the Lord according to the Pancharatrika Vidhi or the regulative principles enjoined in the Narada Pancharatra. Worship according to the Pancharatrika Vidhi is called Vidhi Marga, and worship according to the Bhagavata Vidhi principles is called Raga Marga. Raga Marga. The principles of Raga Marga are especially meant for devotees who are elevated to the Vrindavana platform. Okay, so the next note here, note number 37. Just a moment. This is from Bhagavad Gita, purport to the verses. Oh no, this is actually Srimad Bhagavatam, yes. Srimad Bhagavatam, verses 4, 24, 45 to 46. Purport to those verses. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada, this is of course His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhānta Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupada. And now the next paragraph is about the 5 samskaras in Pancharatrika Vidhi, and I will continue with that paragraph, with that part of the chapter 1 the next time. Jai Satchidananda Swami, Jai His Holiness Satchidananda Swami, Jai the Gayatri book. So we heard how nicely these different topics are explained in the 2 books. So we heard from the book of Satchidananda Swami, that of His Holiness Satchidananda Swami, that actually one have to, if one has Gayatri mantras, one have to chant these, and with the help of Pancharatrika system, Pancharatrika Marga system, then develop to the level of being able to chant the names, the holy names of the Lord Shri Krishna without offense, and continuing his or her development in Bhagavata Marga system. So yes, and in Gaudiya Darsana, from Gaudiya Darsana, we heard that in Shri Shikshastaka, the whole Vedas are actually presented. And well, if I understood correctly, this is another thing, but I think I think this was written there. So you can yourself check if it is like this. If it was written like this, I don't know, but I think I really have read this some moments ago. Just to see again, just a moment. Yes, it was written that in Shri Shikshastaka, the whole Vedas are represented. Yes, all the Vedas, along with their 6 angas, are included within Shikshastakam, says His Divine Grace, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvati Ṭhākura, Prabhupāda in his Gaudiya Darsana, in Gaudiya Darsana, in his lecture Gaudiya Darsana. And we all know that actually Shri Shikshastaka is really presenting the love of a pure devotee to the Lord, the crying in separation of a pure devotee to Krishna. For example, in verse 1, Chetudarpina Marjanam You all know these verses. Chetudarpana marginam, this is the verse 1. Chetudarpana marginam, Pavamahaddavagnirvapanam, Shekandravachandra Vitarnam, Vidyavadu Jivanam, Ananda Buddhivarnam, Pratipadam Purnamritasvadanam, Sarvatasnaparam Param Vajita Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Chetudarpana marginam, Pavamahaddavagnirvapanam, Shekandravachandra Vitarnam, Vidyavadu Jivanam, Ananda Buddhivarnam, Pratipadam Purnamritasvadanam, Sarvatasnaparam Param Vajita Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So let it be completely glorious, completely victorious, the chanting of the holy names of the Lord Shri Krishna. And then it is described how the holy names, the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, what wonderful effects it has. Chetdarpana Marchanam, it cleanses the mirror of the heart. The chanting of the holy name extinguishes the blazing fire of material existence. The chanting of the holy name enables the white lotus of the fortune of the soul to blossom. Vidyavadu Jivanam, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, and the and the spiritual knowledge, they are connected with each other in a very close relationship. Vidyavadu Jivanam, it is like it is like that. It is like this, that the spiritual knowledge and the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, they cannot, that they are connected with each other in such a relationship as if one of them is how to say, if the two as if the two of them, the chanting of the holy name and the spiritual knowledge, are like husband and wife, or they are the life and soul for each other. Like a wife is the life and soul for the husband, and the husband is the life and soul for the wife, or at the same time, both of them are the life and soul for each other. And in this way, they are connected with each other. The spiritual knowledge and the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna. Vidya Vadu Jivanam. So how to further Ananda Buddhivarna Pratipanam Purnamriti Swadhanam. The chanting of the holy name of the Lord spreads spiritual bliss, actually. And the chanting of the holy name of the Lord enables us to taste nectar at every step. Purna Amrita Svadanam. Purna Amrita. Complete nectar or pure nectar. So, Sarvatma Snaparam Parambhajata Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. The chanting of the holy names of the Lord, it cleanses the body from inside and outside. It cleanses the one's intentions. It cleanses one's nature. And at the end, what is said, Vijata Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Let it be completely glorious, let it be completely victorious, the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. The holy names of Lord Shri Krishna. So we see how beautiful it is described, how beautiful are described these different effects of the chanting the holy names of the Lord Shri Krishna. And we all know that actually, as stated in verse 10 of Sri Padashamrita of Srila Rupa Goswami, the highest devotee from all the devotees is Srimati Radhika. So she is the highest pure devotee. After her are the other gopis of Vrindavan. So we see how actually Shashishastakam in this way explains not only the love of a pure devotee to Sri Krishna, but also it expresses the Madanakya Mahabhava or Unnata Ujvala Rasa, the highest love in all the worlds, the love of Srimati Radhika to Sri Krishna. So I will now continue with Chaitanya Charitamrita, which I didn't read in the last trials to glorify Krishna. So let's see where it was. Oh, okay. Madhya Lila 866. This is the Chaitanya Charitamrita of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the translation in English from His Divine Grace, by Jahnava Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda. Let's see if I have read this. Okay. I think I have read this. Okay, the next one is Madhya Lila 867. Kyane prayasam udapasyanamanta eva jivanti sa mukarita bhavadiyavarta stanestita shritiga Danovan Manobi Ye Prayasha Jita Jitu Piyasita Stri Lokiyam. Translation. Ramnandaraya continued. Lord Brahma said, My dear Lord, those devotees who have thrown away the impersonal conception of the absolute truth and have therefore abandoned discussing empirical philosophical truths should hear from self-realized devotees about your holy name, form, pastimes, and qualities. They should completely follow the principles of devotional service and remain free from illicit sex, gambling, intoxication, and animal slaughter, surrendering themselves fully with body, words, and mind. They can live in any ashram or social status. Indeed, you are conquered by such persons, although you are always inconquerable. So the next one is Madrilla 868. Oh, just a moment. I didn't see if there is a purport. Just a moment. Oh, there was not a purport, I think. No, there was not purport, but the next has a purport. So Madrilla 868.
प्रभु कहे हे हो आगे कहा
Ahara Raya Kahe Prema Bhakti Sarva Sadhya Sahara. Translation. At this point, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, This is all right, but still you can speak more on the subject. Purport. Ramananda then replied, Ecstatic love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the essence of all perfection. Just a moment. Uh, the answer the answer from Nandaraya was uh, in the actually it is not part of the purport, it is part of the translation, of course, because in the verse itself, Ramananda Raya, he replies, Raya kahe, Ramananda Raya said, so it is also there. So this is the verse, the translation is the following. At this point, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, This is all right, but still you can speak more on the subject. Ramananda Raya then replied, Ecstatic love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the essence of all perfection. And now comes the purport. Now, okay, yes. In his Amrita Pravaha Bhasya, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakura summarizes the conversation up to this point, where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Ramananda Raya, Eho haya age kaha ara. This is the process accepted in devotional service, but there is something more than this. Therefore, please explain what is beyond. Simply executing the duties of all varnas and ashramas is not as good as offering all the results of one's activities to the Lord. When one gives up all fruitive activity and fully surrenders to the Lord, he attains Swadharma Tyaga, wherein he abandons the social order and takes the renounced order. That is certainly better. However, better than the renounced order is cultivation of knowledge mixed with the devotional service. Yet all these activities are external to the activities of the spiritual world. There is no touch of pure devotional service in them. Pure devotional service cannot be attained by empiric philosophy, nor can perfection be attained simply by good association. Devotional service by self-realization is a different subject matter. It is untouched by fruitive activity, for one surrenders the results of activities to the Lord, abandons prescribed duties, and accepts the renounced order of life. Such devotional service is situated on a higher platform than that of empiric philosophical speculation with a mixture of bhakti. This is verified by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11. Ah yes, this verse comes now. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there it is verse 1. And in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu, it is verse 1.1.11. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu from Śrīla Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura. So let's see now. Okay. Now comes the verse Anabhilash Tashunyam Gyana Karmadya Navrtam Anukulana Krishnanu Shilanam Bhaktir Uttama. So this is description of Uttama Bhakti, pure devotional service. It must be the service to the Lord must be not covered with the karma activities and jnana ideas and knowledge. That means one must not expect some fruitive results from the service to the Lord, and also one have to be the service to the Lord must be independent of our ideas of knowledge, which knowledge does not include the knowledge about Krishna. And also it must be not so it must be not covered with karma and jnana and jnana karadi anavritam. It must be also free from anarthas, free from I don't know if it is anarthas, free from material desires. Yes, free from material desires. But because it is said not anabila sa shunyam, but anabila sita shunyam, then it's that it must be there could be some material desires, but we have to pray with a pure heart to the Lord that He should help us um, to to deal with these material desires. we have to say to the Lord in our heart very honestly, "Oh Lord, please, I am weak. I have this and that material desire. All these material desires, please help me to deal with them. Help me to um, remain pure and not follow these material desires and go into trouble and also take with me in this way also other people and so on." So in this way, there could be some material desires, but they must be one have to pray to the Lord for help in order to be able to deal with these material desires. Because without the help of the Lord, sometimes we cannot manage actually. Yes, of course, we have to try to do this ourselves, but we are weak. Sometimes we just cannot deal with these material desires. So, okay, then the other part of the description of pure bhakti from this verse is Anukulana Krishnanu. Yes, it must be devotional service, which is unadulterated devotional service to the Lord. Devotional service which is beneficiary for the Lord, which is, sorry, my English is so bad, which is actually um, for it must be actually good for the Lord, this devotional service to the Lord. For example, Mother Yashoda, she's a pure devotee. This is clear. So she was Mother Yashoda. She was giving milk from her breast to Krishna, and then she saw that in the next room, in the kitchen, the milk is boiling, and she put Krishna on the ground and ran to save the milk, because the milk is also devotee of Krishna, and it um, um, so it was the milk was ready uh, to commit suicide because the milk was thinking, oh, now Mother Yashoda and Krishna, they are together, uh, and Krishna is getting milk from the breast of Mother Yashoda, and this can be this can be for a long time. They will they feel good, both of them, and this will not no there will be no end. Uh, they can be together in this way, a mother and a child, for a long time. So nobody will take care about me. What I will do? What will I do? And the milk decided to commit suicide, and it was starting to boil. So Mother Yashoda, she jumped and saved the milk because she wanted to save the um, pure devotee of Krishna, the milk. So in this way, she left Krishna alone, And Krishna was absolutely unhappy, of course. And after that came the pastime with the breaking the pot with milk, and after that, Mother Yashoda wanted to bind Krishna, and so on and so on. And she succeeded to bind Krishna um, to the murder, and so on and so on. And but just here, the idea was that uh, is the so here can come here a question can come: is that devotional service of Mother Yashoda pure devotional service if she is leaving Krishna alone and he's unhappy? Practically, she makes Krishna unhappy. What is that? Is that pure devotional service? But actually, she does not make Krishna unhappy. Actually, she wanted to save the devotee of Krishna, because this milk, it will be used then to make preparations for Krishna, to make very nice um, sweets for Krishna from that milk, or it can be used in another way also, in many other ways. Um, um, it can be put together with some tea from roses or some other type of tea, or it can be put in some other preparations, some other um, some other very nice prasadam, and prasadam will be prepared from the milk, and the milk itself, it will be offered to Krishna. It will be prasadam. So in this way, actually, it will be used for service um, to Krishna, the milk. And in this way, this behavior of Mother Yashoda is not pure devotional service. It is pure devotional service. It is pure devotional service. The service of Mother Yashoda to Krishna. But just it was favorable for the Lord. It was favorable for the Lord, because from this milk, very nice preparations will be made for Krishna. Because Mother Yashoda, she does everything for Krishna. And she's a pure devotee of Krishna. And in this way, Anukulena Krishnano, this means actually favorable devotional service for the Lord. Shilana Bhakti Uttama. And this is pure devotional service, says Śrīla Rupa Goswami in this verse of Shri Buddha of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. In this verse of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Yes. And here, let's see what is written. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. So, see, my trial to translate. Of course, I don't translate it. I just have read this from Śrīla Narayana Maharaj, the book of Śrīla Narayana Maharaj on Shri Shikshastakam, which is a translation of Śrīla Basim of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakura. But, well, maybe I didn't say it very good, but I just tried to remember. Yes, but this is actually not different from this what is written here. Yes, there could be some differences, but the main idea is there. The description of pure devotional service. Okay, so I continue with reading the purport of His Divine Grace Bhaicharanara Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupāda. Devotional activities, however, sometimes appear to be impure in the neophyte stage, but in the mature stage they are completely pure or free from material activity. Therefore, Ramananda Rai replied after hearing the last statement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prema Bhakti Sarva Sadhya Sara. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually accepted this verse, Gyane Prayasam, as the basic principle of perfection. One has to practice this principle in order to make further progress. What verse is meant here actually? Okay, continue to read. When further progress is actually made, one comes to the platform of ecstatic loving service to the Lord. This first stage is technically called sadhana bhakti, or devotional service in practice. The result of sadhana bhakti must be ecstatic love, attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is also called Prema Bhakti. In the neophyte stage, sadhana bhakti includes faith, association with devotees, and practicing devotional service. Thus, one is freed from unwanted things. One then becomes fixed in devotional service and increases his desire to act in devotional service. Thus one becomes attached to the Lord and his devotional service. So the next time I will continue with the next verse. The next verse is 8, Madhya Lila 869. Okay, now I will again try to sing something. So, in order not to torture you with my trial to play guitar, which I cannot, I know, I will just sing a very I will just sing the end of that song, The Princess in the Night, which I wrote. I will just sing the end of it, some part of the old text and the new text to it, and then a little bit Maha Mantra. so. So they are judged to die, said death. No, I will help them, said the truth. First, they must learn how not to lie, and they will discover they can never die. Then they will feel that there is a reason they to be happy and their souls to blossom. They will see the real situation and how you all love caused the transformation. They will see the real situation and how you all love cause the transformation. But how to make them to believe the truth must their hearts never leave. Is there my truth? Your truth? No, but the truth is me, the goddess of the truth. If you never lie to others, I will always be in your heart. If you never lie to others, I will always be in your heart. No one then could lie to you, to you. You will always see the truth, the truth. No one then could lie to you. You will always see the truth, the truth. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Mother Mary. Thank you, God, Father in heaven. Thank you, God, Father in heaven. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I will now read the whole poem. Because in my trials to sing, maybe nobody understands what I say, what I try to say during singing. I mean, I try to sing, but how I pronounce, I'm not sure if one understands what I say in the song, so I will read it. Yes. So, The Princess and the Knight. There was a princess living in the Middle Ages. Her parents were dead. She was poor. Her heart full with hope, love, and truth. As she realized that she had nothing, she went and asked for help the king. The king said, I cannot really help, but there is a brave and handsome knight. He is for you the right. The princess married the powerful soldier. Now there was for her a hopeful shelter. The time was passing, but the knight was always away from the castle, fighting day and night. Through passing by messenger, the princess wrote to her soldier, I want all the treasure, I want all the pleasure, I want everything. That was the order of the king. The time was passing. The noble knight was still fighting far away, day and night. The princess understood what it was all about. First she became disappointed, then she loudly cried, You find that my eyes are too big. You think my hair is not enough thick. You see that I am not enough young. I thought that you are beyond, that you are not like everybody, as you have a spiritual body. You think. Why do you think? Why don't you love? I am your beloved. The order of the king was also I to fight, said the just coming home night. And everybody knows the truth. Who loves, he has to suffer. He added to the answer to his wife and lover. The love heard what was discussed in the conversation. The love became sad and wanted to change the situation. They cannot live without me, and they don't care about me. Fast began the love to think. She knew there was another king, much more powerful than the king. This was the beloved of the love, himself the God of love. They don't allow me to give them hope, as they too, you, my love, ignore, said the God of love to his pretty beloved, the love. So they are judged to die, said Death. No, I will help them, said the truth. First, they must learn how not to lie, and they will discover they never die. Then they will feel that there is a reason they to be happy and their souls to blossom. They will see the real situation and how you, all love, cause the transformation. But how to make them to believe the truth must their hearts never leave? Is there my truth, your truth? No, but the truth is me, the goddess of the truth. If you never lie to others, I will always be in your hearts. No one then could lie to you. You will always see the truth. Okay, so this was the poem. Now I will come to an end already. Just a moment. Yes, okay. Ah, yes, I forgot to say. Yes, if I have tried to say something on Vedic literature and literature connected with the Vedic topics and on comments on Vedic literature, then you should know I'm not trying to instruct anybody. I'm just only trying to understand those topics as I am not qualified on this, on those matter, on this matter, on those topics I'm not qualified. Yes, so of course one have to try to understand the Vedic literature and the literature connected with the Vedic literature and Vedic poetry. Under the guidance, one have to try to understand this under the guidance of teachers, Diksha and Shiksha gurus, Diksha guru and Shiksha gurus. All of you who are devotees, who are Vaishnavas in the in Raganuga Bhakti and especially those in Rupanuga Bhakti, you're all my gurus. I pay obeisances to you. Dandavat pranam. Vanchakalpatarupascha. Kripasinhupevacha. Patitnam pavanebhyo. Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Namaste Narasimhaya Praladadayana Hiranyakashipu Raksha Shilatankanakalayo Itam Rishiho Bharatam Rishiho Yato yato mitato Rishimha Rishimha Ridaya Rishimha Rishimha Mate Sharanya Prabhaya Namaste Narasimhaya Praladala Bedayina Hiranya Kashipuraksha Shilatanka Nakalaya Hiton Rishiva Paraton Rishiva Yato Yato Yamitato Rishiva Bahinishiho Riyayan Rishiho Rishiho Made Sharanya Prabhade Tavakara Kamala Varena Kamatputa Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu bringa Kesava Drita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Namaste Narasimhaya Praladaladaina Hiranyakashipuruksha Shilatankanakalaye Parato Rishiha Yato Yato Yamitato Shiva Nishiva Hridaya Nishiva Drishihamadi Sharanya Prabhupada Tava Karakamalavara Nakama Putashrinka Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadrita Parahari Rupa Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Shri Nishimha Janri Shimha Jaya Janri Shimha De Prakladesh Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bringa Shri Nishimha Janri Shim Jaya Janri Shimha De Prakladesh Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bringa Shri Nishimha Janri Shim Jaya Janri Shimha De Prakladesh Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bringa Shri Nishimha Janri Shim Jaya Janri Shimha De Prakladesh Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bringa Jaya Nrsimhade Jaya Nrsimhade Jaya Nrsimhade Jaya Nrsimhade Jaya Pralat Nrsimha Pralat Nrsimha Pralat Nrsimha Jaya Pralat Nrsimha Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha Lakshmi Nrsimha Lakshmi Nrsimha Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha Lakshmi Nrsimha Lakshmi Nrsimha Jaya Lakshmi Nrsimha Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Guranitai 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 Jaya Shri Shri Guranitai Jaya Guranitai 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 Jaya Shri Shri Guranitai Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Gopinatha Radha Gokulananda Shri Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Gopinatha Radha Gokulananda Shri Radha Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Jaya Shri Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Gopinatha Radha Gokulananda Shri Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Gopinatha Shri Radha Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Prabhupāda 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 Jaya Śrīla Prabhupāda Jaya Prabhupāda Prabhupāda.
Thanks so much for your attention. Hare Krishna. Vanchakāpatarupaśca, kripasintukupyevaca, patitinam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo, namo namaha.